Well, hey, hello. Welcome back to the weekly podcast, No More Excuses. It is Monday, and it's time for some motivation, right? This is your host, Sandy Ballard. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing the podcast with your network and for connecting with me on all the social media outlets. Oh, I almost said Snapchat. I am not on Snapchat. I don't know why. I guess I just talked to my daughter. That's why I was thinking about that. Instagram and Taskmaster Sandy with an I. LinkedIn. And Growing Forward Success Coaching is Facebook. And then Twitter, SL Ballard 13. Oh, like I said, appreciate you being here. And last week, it was about investing in you, investing in yourself, which by listening to this podcast is just that. So hopefully you're getting something out of it. And like I said, if you're sharing it, you're helping others as well. So this podcast, with last week's podcast, we talked about investing in you and not everything has to cost money, just time. Just time, right? We're on that limited budget. And, shameless plug, of course, www.bizatthebeach.biz. And that is for my registration now open. It's going to be Sun, Fun, and Serious Business in Playa del Carmen next February, but we're only taking 20 reservations, so that's going to be a personal and professional growth retreat. And so what mo better place can you go to do just that, to work on your business, to connect with other like-minded business people. And so that's investing in you as well. But last Friday, I went to a Creative Mornings event. They had a speaker. It was a couple hours, and it was my first one there, and it was just a neat event, considering I'm with a creative, and I have a lot of creative clients. The speaker was Ashley Brooks, and she was fantastic. She's so shy and introverted, but she did really well, and she's very passionate about her true calling, which is truly helping people eat healthy but good food, and just all the different changes and pivoting and things that have happened along her road and on her path. But the thing that I thought about was, by her standing up there, because she's talked about how tough it was for her to give this talk. And so for her, that was personal growth as well. That was an opportunity for her to tell her story and share. And it was really cool and amazing. And, her personal life and the shit that went sideways there totally 100% affected her professional life, because they were 100% intertwined. And if you've heard of her or not, her and her husband at the time owned a restaurant, and all that their background and fascination with food and good, healthy, organic food. So again, that's one example of it being a personal growth opportunity for her just by speaking about it. And I hadn't really thought about that until then. So, if you speak to groups, I do quite often, and, not just these podcasts, I speak to live groups. And, I told my story in my first book, From There to Here, and did a lot of talks on that as well. So it just didn't really resonate with me about personal growth and investing in yourself with talks. But if you have the opportunity, do it. It is truly amazing. So what did you do to invest in yourself? What have you done, and what will you continue to do for your personal and professional growth? And what was the outcome? What were the results that you created? Results are not just the achievement, the goal. It's how you grew, who you became, and it's the results of what changes you made that will help you get to your goals. So, sorry, this might be a long one. I had just a lot of thoughts this week. So as I'm writing this, I actually am recalling 3 client calls last week, all going through very deep personal shit, which normally I don't go down that road, but I can't do anything about it, because we can't move forward in their big game, until we get some of these things resolved, until they work through their shit storm. And the common theme with everyone was being kinder to yourself. So obviously themselves. So, we tend to get caught up in the chaos, the sadness, the pain of loss, the what ifs of a situation. And it always it takes you down a rabbit hole, spiraling downward, and it can make shit worse because you just can't get out of your own head. And then guilt sets in because you've wasted time. And then there's more avoidance and negative self-talk, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can see how it just can keep going down. And I'm sure some of you are shaking your head. Yes, you've been through that. So that's why investing in yourself is so important. Because when shit starts going sideways, when things like that happen, many times you can recognize it yourself and snap out of it, or just stop yourself. Say, okay, I need a minute to pause and just think through this, because I do not want to go down that rabbit hole. And one of the clients I spoke with had already done that within the week that we hadn't talked. Was just going through some stuff, and she took her dog. She's like, all right, I've had enough. I can't think through this anymore, because her head was just clouded with options. So she took her dog and went to the park for a couple hours. And she said, I just hit, was it Alt Control Delete, just reset. And that was good. That's what she needed to clear her mind, to shut it off. And then she could face it, within the next day and just think through things. One of the other ones we talked about, just allowing herself to be sad if she's sad, giving herself permission to embrace any emotion, whether she's sad, and to stop feeling guilty for laughing and feeling good while she heals from her loss. It's like riding the wave. We just said, let's just ride whatever wave of emotion comes over her. And the other, well, we talked a lot about what she was going through, and she's big on the what ifs. And I asked her, what if you could do anything right now, what would make you happy? And she said, take a week off and do nothing. I said, then do it. It's what she's worked so hard on with her business. And she just ended up getting balls to the wall busy and forgot to check in on herself. So she's going to take a week off in a couple weeks because she has commitments. But, the week off with doing nothing turned into doing some things, but they're for her and her husband. Her business requires, like many of us, to always be on for other people. So now it's time for her to reset. And before her week off, she needs to look at her to-do list, choose something on that list each day that looks like the most fun. Many times that is what people do, but it's as a way to avoid the shit they don't want to do. And I'm a lot about powering through. Sometimes you gotta suck it up and do it, right? But for her right now in the burnout phase, you've got to build up the energy. So instead of doing the tasks that will suck more out of what little energy she has left, do what sounds fun or interesting or easy. Pause and recognize that energy, and then say, wow, I did that. That was easy. All right, what's next? So you can build on it. And I actually did that with some landscaping the other day. So hopefully that all makes sense. When you're in burnout, the last thing you can do is work on the toughest things sometimes. So if it does not make sense, email me sballard@growingforward.biz. But this week I want to hear from you about a situation like that, when you're realizing, okay, yeah, there was a lot of negative self-talk. I went down a rabbit hole. Whether you've resolved it or not, let me know. sballard@growingforward.biz, or post it here in the comments section. In a sense, it's sort of like a client I mentioned a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, where he was just in a really bad place. And we talked through some things, gave him some homework. He worked through that, and now he's rocking and rolling. But it just happens so much. And like I said, the whole theme was just being kinder to yourself, because so many times you get caught up in that, damn it, I've just been sitting here wasting time. I've been thinking too much, And it's just learning to be kinder to yourself. And that totally doesn't sound like #badass business coach, but you can't get shit straight, and you're not 100% if you are not 100%. So you're not 100% for your clients and your family if you're not 100%. That's what I meant. So these are examples of situations, ways to snap out of it, so to speak, but learning to give yourself a break once in a while, be kinder to yourself. And yes, that's what I am saying, is to be kinder to yourself, because if you can't, you can't be a badass if you're down in a rabbit hole. All right? So I want to hear from you this week. And if you're definitely in a bad place, email me, post here, comment, find me, and let's talk through it. All right? Have a great week. Look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.